So what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, guys. I am David. On today's episode, the Kioti CK 2610 and the box blade, we are going to be installing some rain barrels. Let's get right into it. Okay, so we're going to put some rain barrels in, and this is where it's going to go down at. We got to clean this area up first, and we're going to cut a diverter right into that gutter system there, and then we're just going to run a hose from there to the garden. Way easier than running a hose all the way from the front of my house to the side of my house, or the back of my house to the side of my house. Either way, and we don't want to use our own water. We want to be able to capture some rainwater and be self-sufficient in that fashion. So let's get started. All right, the tractor made short work of that. Just a couple passes and it's looking good. It's graded decently. And for right now, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to clean a little bit more of this up in here. But I want to just set the barrels over here and get the diverter cut in, just so we're expecting rain tonight, so we can start filling up the barrels, because they need to be cleaned out. So we want to fill them up with some rainwater, dump them out, and do that a few times, and then go ahead and fill them up and start using them for the garden. And then also I want to put some cinder blocks down here and level this out so that way they're a little bit higher. Although this runs downhill a little bit this way to the garden, if I just put the barrels up a little bit higher on some cinder blocks, it will help with the pressure. And we don't need a ton of pressure. We're only watering the garden, so we should be good. But for right now, let's go. So this is the product that I am using. All right, so now with that said, this is going to be it. We're going to use this diverter. It says to cut out a 6-inch section. So I'm going to mark 6 inches. I'm going to cut it, and this is supposed to go right in. We'll see. I chose this diverter only because a friend of mine uses it. I asked for recommendations, and a friend of mine said, "Hey, I use this one, and it works." And I said, "Okay." It was under $20, so we'll say it was 20 bucks. So shipped it to my door. So I was like, "All right, cool. We'll get started. We'll give it a shot." 6 inches after that. Okay, so that was fairly simple. Got that knocked out. Now we're just going to go ahead and take the diverter valve, and we're going to go ahead, apparently one slips up, one slips down, you connect them together, and you should be done. So let's see how that goes. Alright, so diverter valve's in. That's it. We're going to grab a hose. I have a hose right here. It's in this box. We're just going to go ahead and hose it into one of the barrels and let it start collecting some water for us so we can start rinsing it out. Alright, so everything's all finished up. These are just all sitting here. There's no cinder blocks on them yet, in which they will be. Eventually I'm going to come in here and put some of the compost down, some of the mulch down, and then put some cinder blocks and just get it all level and nice and connect them all together and all that stuff. But we want to get started on just catch some rain and start rinsing these barrels out. So here we go. Everything looks good. Came out really nice. That diverter valve wasn't that bad. Let's get you guys a quick close up here. Well, that thing was pretty easy. 6-inch cut, fit it on, drop it on, put it into a barrel. So not bad. Let's see how much water it catches though, right? All right, so rained a few times. Got the barrels good and cleaned out. We're gonna go ahead and lay this mulch down. Took a tractor already and just grab some mulch from that there pile. And I dropped it right there. The cinder blocks are in place, ready to go. I got these from my brother-in-law. He owns a landscaping company. He had these laying around. And he was like, hey, if you want them, you can take them. So I took those and we're just gonna take this. We're gonna smooth this out now, rake it out a little bit, put those cinder blocks against that back wall. And then we're gonna go ahead and put the rain barrels on it. All right, so level it out, do the pavers down, put the barrels right on top. I think it came out pretty nice. I only eyeball leveled that. I didn't, just kind of put them in and got it where I felt is good, and I think it looks pretty good. All right, guys, thanks for joining me for this episode. The rain barrels came out really nice, really excited. I gotta take this gutter off and go ahead and get the paint trimmed up and stuff like that, but I'll do that off camera on a later date. And for now, guys, as always, 2 things. Don't forget to take the time to enjoy what you do. And don't forget, work does not do itself. So don't be afraid to get out there and get after it.